Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Today we are going to be making these new to me technique waterfalls. I saw it this morning on Prima marketing on shorts and I thought it was super cute. Unfortunately, she kind of said the wrong measurements. And so if you guys watched her tutorial, it doesn't quite work out because there was like a wrong measurement said. It comes out too short, but what I did is I just added, I like score taped on an extra piece so mine wasn't too short because I don't want to waste my good paper. And of course I used my good paper on the first try, right? So I made a couple other ones. And also with her measurements, where she misspoke, she said 3/4 of an inch, but she meant 1/4 of an inch. And I'm not big on 1/4 of an inch measurement. It is just too small for me. So I'm going to do my measurements, and I'm going to use the measurements that I like. Now, all of my pieces are cut out because I didn't realize my camera wasn't rolling. So I was literally doing the project talking to myself and not to y'all. So we're going to go ahead and fake it here because I only need, I already have 3 of them. I don't need, more. So we're going to do this one. Your first cut is going to be 1.5 by 7. Okay. On the long side, we are going to score it at 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5, and 2. Okay. That's all you need to do. Set that piece aside. We'll come back to it in a little bit. You're going to go ahead and cut 4 pieces that are 2.25 by 3.25. Obviously, mine are already done. So go ahead and pause your video here and cut out 4 pieces at 2.25 by 5, 2.25 by 3.25. Okay. The measurements are typed out in the description box, so please do that measurement that's in the description box, okay? Because we're human, and sometimes we say the wrong measurement. So go ahead and pause your video, cut that out, and yeah. Alright, so I'm going to clean this real quick. I knew something was stuck in there. Right, excuse my arm. Alright, so on one of your pieces that you just cut, on one of your 2.25 by 3.25, you need to cut a slit. Whether you use your punches, your dies, good old scissors, craft knife, whatever you want to do. This is how I did it, okay? I took this little piece of paper. I just took a scrap, from my scrap bin, and I cut it 1/8 of an inch. Actually, I can do this piece with you. 1/8 of an inch. Whoa. 1/8 of an inch. Let's go. What's happening? By 1 5/8. So just slightly bigger than your, this piece. Alright, so that's what I did, and then I just took the little piece here. I centered it as best as I could. I traced around it, and I took my craft knife and I cut it out. Now, because I'm not great with the craft knife, you see it is wider than 1/8 of an inch. That's fine. You know what? 1/8 of an inch is such a small little sliver. It's okay. This is going to be bigger because you're going to try to get your scissors up in there, or your craft knife, or, whatever you're doing is going to be bigger. It's fine. The only thing that I didn't like is it being too long. So in the original video, she said to do it at 1 3/4, but that left such a big gap. on either side of my paper and I didn't like it. I just want a tiny little gap. So you're going to cut your paper how you desire. If you want to see more through the sides, cut it longer. But that was the measurement I did, 1 5/8 by 1/8 of an inch little thing. Obviously you can take your little ruler and craft knifed it, you do all that, or just cut it out. Okay, so put that over to the side, and now we're going to come back to this piece here. We're going to go ahead and varnish and varnish and varnish. I'm folding it towards me to see how we have that. It's going to roll on this piece here. Okay, so this piece is going to go into your slot. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So where I did all the pencil marks, make that the back of your pull piece and put the unscored side through the hole. Scooch this up. We're attaching your 2 1/4 piece to right here, but the reason why we're going through all this drama and not just eyeballing it is because of one reason. Crooked. I'm not happy with how this is crooked, okay? But if you eyeball it and just glue your pieces on like this without making it straight, it's fine. This will just have to be glued into your book, okay? These were meant to be standalones to put in like pockets of your folios or your mini albums, just as another interactive piece. But if you made this back crazy like I did, I'm going to glue this into my folio, okay? And all you're going to do is glue on the bottom where my pointer finger is. You're going to glue down here. Nowhere else on the back do you add glue, just down here. Probably, 3/4 of an inch glue, just to make sure you don't glue your mechanism anywhere else. So you're just going to put your glue like that and just glue that into your book. Then you don't care that the back is wonky because you can't tell that it's not straight in the inside. It's just the back. So if you're standing alone, which mine are going to be, I haven't decided if they're going to be standalones or glued is in. So I'm going to make it straight. Okay. So I'm going to take this again, push it through the back and line it up so it looks straight on the back. Okay. Is this a little overkill? Yep. Does it need to be this complicated? Nope. Am I going to make it this complicated? Yep. Some days I can just eyeball it. Don't care. That crooked back, usually does not bother me because it's the back. But today, it's bothering me. So I'm not doing it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, because see, the top lines need to go here. I'm turning the whole thing over. Again, making it way more complicated than what it needs to be. But this is what I need today. I'm putting glue just on this first section. And I'm going to fold it down and in between those lines to make it semi-straight. Again, is this too much? Yep. But sometimes you just gotta be too much. Am I fussing way too much and making it harder? But look at the back. Straight. Okay. So now we can go ahead and take this out. And we're going to layer the rest of them. The rest of them aren't going to be a problem. Okay, so on your next 1/2 inch section, you're going to take your glue or your score tape and you're going to glue your tape in between the score lines. You're not touching those score lines. You're not going above them. You're not going on them. And you're going to take your next piece, line it up with your rectangle down here, okay? I don't care if it's crooked on the top. I don't care. Like right here on this line, I just need it to match up with this bottom piece. And the reason why I don't care is because when you fan it on the top, you won't see it. So just making sure it's straight with the piece below it. Glue it in. Next piece. Glue in between the score lines or tape. Line it up with here. Just make sure you get all, all the way up to the score line. Again, we're not on the score line, we're not touching it, we're right at it. Okay. And your last section and your last piece, glue in between the score lines. Yes, I know I'm repeating that because it's for me, not so much for you, because sometimes I get a little glue happy. Lining it up with its best friends down there. Smush it in. Let it dry. Towel. Okay. There we go. So it should look like this. I'll give you some different angles here so you can see. Maybe. Let me get this glue off of here. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to take this piece here and we're just going to tuck it in. This is the back. Just tuck it in through this last piece. Here's a different angle if you need to see it that way. All I did, it was like this, rolled it around, tucked it in like a belt buckle. That's it. And you're done. All right, outside of me complicating it and making sure it's straight on the back, it's super easy. And if you notice, like I do right here, I may have cut my piece wrong. It has a little sliver that's off. I'm just going to take my scissors and fix it. Actually, I'm going to take my paper trimmer. Just so I don't have any wonky marks. Right there. Petty. See, it's like that tiny little sliver, which is driving me nuts. So it was too small even for my paper trimmer. Look at that. Anyway, that made me feel better, so it's perfect now. And that's it. And you can go ahead and decorate these how you want. You can add little, she added a heart to the bottom, so it was really cute. Or you can round the corners or do what you want. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.